here's a question about the season. Where did it actually go wrong for Arsenal this season? Because everybody keeps going to one point, and I kind of have to disagree. They keep saying that it was that Arsenal were willing to accept a draw at the Etihad against City, and they did. They got that 0-0 draw a couple weeks back, like a month and a half back. People are saying that even Rodri came out with a press statement and sort of said, when we saw how they were shaping up, when we saw that they were kind of willing to sit back and allow that, that's when we saw that they were different from us. And I don't agree with that. I think that, but like as a player, I get it. As a competitor, I get it. But you're hopped up on emotions. You're kind of taking the shit talk a little bit, and like I like that. Like it's a good shit talk. I like when players say that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But logically, it's not. That's not true. There are plenty of times where it makes sense to walk into a higher standing club and be willing to take a draw.
I don't think that's where it went wrong for Arsenal, to be honest. I think where it went wrong for Arsenal was that December. Yeah. And I'll tell you why. Because games is if you're in Premier League and you're competing against the best of the best like City and Liverpool, and you want to win the league, and that's in any league, right? You have to, especially when you are the underdog, even if you're in the big six,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
You have to do game management.
Mm-hmm.
What games or should I automatically get the 3 points?
Yep.
And what games I can afford to get a draw, or worst case scenario, a loss. City will be that game.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yes.
City will be.
We said this back when they took that draw.
Yeah.
That was a good thing to take that
Liverpool
draw.
would probably be that. In fact, you can say,
and they got
Liverpool, City, and if Chelsea was Chelsea, you could say that. But the rest, I'm not taking no for an answer. Yep. I'm not taking 0-0. And you have Aston Villa. You
lost to them both times this season. Yeah. They lost to Villa twice.
You in around that time, which was October, you lost to Aston Villa. You lost to who they lost to again? They did the draw with Liverpool, but that's besides the point. Like, they can afford
the
that.
West Ham and Fulham losses right after.
Yeah, they lost to West Ham 2-0. They lost to Fulham. So guess what? I'm not losing to Fulham. I'm not losing to West Ham. I'm not losing to Aston Villa.
At home. If anything.
Yeah.
Because they are still a top 4 club now, and you have to accept that as well.
That's it. Because they lost to Liverpool around that time.
Yeah.
But.
Because see, if, like you said, Chelsea of old, United of old, those were the clubs that you could say, we can drop points at their stadium. Villa is that now.
Yes.
Like at this point, you can't afford to lose any points to Chelsea at all. Yes. Any points United, Newcastle, period. Villa's just taking that spot. So it's kind of a revolving door of the top 4.
Yeah.
You can take a loss or drop of points to some of the top 4. Yeah. If you look at City's performance against the bottom 14 clubs in the season, it was perfect almost.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until they had some shaky performances against Chelsea.
Yes.
And other top big 6 sides. They manage it better because it kind of proves the point of you want to only drop points against the teams that are higher than you in the table, and you can validate.
Now,
but you can't validate losing to lower ranked clubs on the table. You just can't.
Now guess what? I'm running. We forget December. November, December passed. I'm really in this bracket where all teams that are running, all 3 teams have the same point. I go play against Aston Villa and I lose again. Because the draw against City might be, yes, we draw against City.
Yeah.
That's all right.
That's fine.
That's fine. It's a big club. Worst case scenario, it could have been a loss, but we drew. So are we still in a competition? Yes. Yep. What do we have to do till the end of the day? Not lose.
Don't fucking lose.
That's it.
Yep.
So either they should have won this league by not losing in December, November.
Yeah.
Or they should have just managed the game very well or the end of the season and not lost against Aston Villa. Because at this point, City is not going to lose.
Yeah. You put yourself in a situation where you can play perfectly, and as long as City does as well, they still win.
Yes.
That's not a good thing for you. And yes, don't get me wrong, losing twice home and away to Aston Villa is not acceptable. However, it's more acceptable to me than losing to West Ham and Fulham in December.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like,
that's where it was the most wrong for them.
That's why I say that's really the turning point for them.
6 massive points.
Yeah. If they had, let's say, that's why I said, let's say we lost those games. What are we doing? We are 10 games or 6 games to win in this league because we are in the same bracket. We have they padded their goal difference
Oh, yeah.
to the point where if we draw same amount of points with City or even Liverpool, we are winning.
Beautiful.
Right?
Yeah.
Now
set it
that
up perfectly.
you are that, but the problem with that is there's too much pressure. If I had won all those games in December, now I'm cruising.
Yeah.
There's less pressure, and probably with less pressure being Arsenal, I'm winning more. Because pressure too will put you in a situation where it might be a loss one day or it might be so you just gotta you also at the end you also have to have a winning DNA. We talk about it. And you guys might say whatever. Madrid has that. The game is not finished until it's 90, until the referee says it's finished. And teams like City would do that.
Yeah.
So that's the next. I feel like Arsenal should add that to the whole philosophy next year, where nothing is said and done until the ref say, "Hey."
Until I'm on the bus.
Yeah.
Until I'm still challenging for the ball in the tunnel.
Yeah.
In the locker room.
That's the like
Studs up and everything.
This year I say an improvement from them. Next year will just be that philosophy, I know Thierry Henry said this well. He said teams like Madrid and most of the time when they get in the Champions, they feel like they have to win it.
Yeah,
that's why they win it.
It's an obligation.
It's for them. It don't matter who is there.
I can't go home unless I win this. My wife locked the door.
That's it.
I can't get back in my house.
And that's the mentality they gotta come with next year. And if they come with the way they play, because there's an improvement this season, they're winning next year. They're winning next year.
Yeah, fuck.
Now the only problem is like if Chelsea gets good too, that's a different thing.
Chelsea have a longer way to go, but yes,
they do have a long way to go.
But they also have a history of quick fixes.
Look at Tuchel.
I know.
When he came there, the fix was 6 months or whatever month.
Yeah,
and they were back up running.
He came back in January and they won the Champions League.
Yeah, so
then to follow that question, where does Arsenal need improvement on the field? Looking at this whole season, what do they actually need?
That's actually a great question. What do Arsenal need?
Because I watched every single game of theirs this season.
Yeah.
I
will tell you what they need
in both competitions.
I will tell you exactly what they need. They have it, but they need.
Yes.
They have it in 90%, but they need the 10%.
Yeah, like there's nothing that they like need as in like they don't have, but they need improvements, and for one reason or another.
The defense is great. In fact, Saliba and Gabriel. Let me just say Gabriel was one of the best defensive combination this year in the Premier League.
Probably the best.
Probably the best. I think they consider less goals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's two things. Their right side might need a little improvement. Either we need to decide, because I will tell you, that and the attacking, you need a striker that in the midst, when push comes to shove, where there's just one opportunity, who has to convert it? Yeah. You need that guy. Yeah. And you need that. Look at, I will go, and this is because it's a good example. Like, you look at City, Madrid, an instinct, a pure striker instinct. When Vinicius hit that ball from far, what does Joselu does? He follows up.
Yeah.
Why? Because in a striker's mind, and that will
to clean it up.
Even Gomez will do that. Or Gomez from Bayern Munich. Müller will do that. Because there's a striker.
Benzema would have as well.
Benzema would have
been right there.
Yeah, because they know the goalkeeper could hit it and comes back. And guess what? If it bounces back, I'm putting that sucker
right there
back
for
in the field.
Yeah.
You need that kind of striker instinct, and they don't have it. They have guys that can score.
Yeah.
But when the game there's less opportunity, you always have those reflex, and most of the time you need someone that has it.
Yeah, you're expecting everybody in that attacking lineup to have 8 to 12 goals.
Yeah.
as opposed to one guy having 23, 24.
Yes.
You said the right side of the defense. You're talking about Ben White, or are you talking?
No, the left side. The
Okay,
left side.
okay,
My bad. The left side.
because Ben White's locked down.
No, Ben White is doing great. The
And
left side.
You have to think that Urian Timber comes in and makes a big difference because he played 30 minutes this season. That he tore his ACL in that first game.
Either I will let him if he's in good shape, or I will let Tomiyasu be the starter and just I keep forgetting his name. The other guy will be the rotation, or I'll move him to the midfield.
Zinchenko.
Zinchenko.
Yeah. The thing about Tomiyasu, and because 3 months ago I would have absolutely agreed with you.
Yeah.
Over the last couple of weeks, maybe the last month and a half or so, Tomiyasu's shown some defensive weakness that was odd, uncharacteristic for him.
Yeah.
But he's definitely the better of the options. We've had that conversation as well, where Zinchenko, very good with offensive build-up, very bad on the defensive back end. Kivior, good defender, defensively minded, obviously, practically non-existent in the attacking build-up. However, for someone that's as good as at defense on average, he oddly puts himself in odd positions at times and then doesn't have the pace to get out of that. Whereas Tomiyasu is sort of the jack of all trades in situation. He's good with the offensive build-up. He's good with defense. He's good with positioning. But I don't feel like he leans in a particularly strong way outside of that. But for someone to pick up slack in the back end as a replacement or a squad player, he's very good.
Yeah. It will be either of those. The reason why I will still probably go in favor of Tomiyasu is just because probably less games as a starter makes you that way too. Mm-hmm. So if he becomes the starter, that might change a little bit. But you guys go, and he has rotation guys, which is really good. If you want to win any competition next year, your bench has to be deep.
You know, well, and on that, the other thing that I kind of noticed was missing this whole season. You look at the midfield, and everybody says, Declan Rice is invaluable. Martin Odegaard is invaluable.
Yeah.
The center midfield, the centermost piece of that, Rice is a starter.
Yeah.
Odegaard is a starter. They are part of your starting lineup no matter what you say. Never at one point were Partey or Jorginho starters. Mm-hmm. As in, you're not moving from the lineup. A McAllister.
Yeah.
A Tchouaméni. And that's what I'm saying. The replacement for Partey and or Jorginho has to be a starter, an absolute star, not just another rotation player.
Yeah.
They always had one player in that midfield at any given moment, when Havertz was on the left side, that could have obviously been improved and was not where they needed to be the best that they could be. Mm-hmm. Jorginho comes on in the 64th minute. Partey comes on in the 64th minute for someone like a McAllister, like a Tchouaméni. That's what needs to happen. Anguissa, even if because you can see that age is not on their side, but maturity is. Mm-hmm. But when you're being countered, even if you have Saliba, Gabriel at the back, you need that pace in the midfield. You're left a little vulnerable at times, especially and it happened on several occasions.
If you get Anguissa, you gotta have a midfield in combination that's faster for him. Anguissa is more of I wouldn't say. It's more of a kind of like a Toni Kroos. The difference is he just goes up a little bit more because he has the potential to do those passes, the potential to counter on the attack. He just needs someone that will carry the ball forward.
And that's Odegaard. Yeah.
That's it.
So it's just one of the three midfielders at all times felt like they were a rotation player.